Residential.
Yeah, residential agent. Did I say something? What did I say?
Commercial.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, here we go. Hi, Brett Swarts here, founder of Capital Gains Tax Solutions. I'm so excited to bring you a live episode today of our show with my good friend Piper Moretti, who is an expert luxury agent in residential real estate here in Manhattan Beach, one of the most beautiful areas in the world. And I'm excited to introduce you to her and also tell you a case study of an actual live deal here in a minute. But let's start with Piper's story. Hey, Piper. Tell us a little bit about your story and your current focus as a residential expert real estate.
Yeah. Well, I've been in residential and actually commercial since about 2015. I just started, traditional real estate, and I actually had a Bitcoin buyer find me randomly online in 2016, and that just changed my trajectory. And so I've been an expert now by default in cryptocurrency, buying and selling, helping my clients buy and sell in crypto. And now, we're just kind of evolving to the next level, and NFTs and the metaverse and all that. And if you would have asked me this 5 years ago, I would have thought you were absolutely crazy.
What I love about that is you're connecting the real estate world, right, and what you've always done, helping buyers and sellers execute on selling their luxury homes here in Manhattan Beach and the surrounding areas, with the cryptocurrency world, which is very innovative and a way to problem solve. So would you say that's one or two gifts that you've been given? Problem solving is one of them. What's maybe another one?
Definitely problem solving, because everybody told me that you couldn't do a Bitcoin transaction at the time, and I didn't know any better, so I just went ahead and just figured it out. Another one is empathy and being able to really get into the lives of my clients and really understand what they need. I don't care if it's a $500,000 condo or a $5 million house. They all have specific needs, and they're all different too. So I have to get in there and really empathize and understand what they need and help them.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And so here at Capital Gains Tax Solutions, we want to find the best in every area of business professionals to serve our clients, and also help business professionals serve their clients with capital gains tax. So we're going to dive into a deal story that's actually live right now. We're going to break down one way to do it and one way not to do it, and it's actually almost sister properties here in Manhattan Beach to help you, if you're considering selling, defer millions of dollars of capital gains tax, or maybe even help one of your clients here in the future. So we'll put that video here in a minute. But Piper, if people want to get connected to you right now and find out more about ways to transact with cryptocurrency and real estate, what's the best place for them to find you?
You can either go to the website at thecryptorealtygroup.com, or you can just email me at piper@thecryptorealtygroup.
Excellent. So let's look for the next part of this episode here in a minute. All right, so we're part of the episode where we're breaking down an actual case study. We're not going to disclose some of the client details, but we're actually going to lose a real deal that's here to potentially hit the market soon. So we're on 10th Street in Manhattan Beach, just literally a few blocks from the beach. I can probably hit a golf ball and get there, and which makes the values very high. So this particular property, the sellers who are considering selling bought it for a very low price of around $1,175 years ago. And they're looking to sell it in the $5 to $5.5 million range. Their challenge is it's a primary home. It doesn't qualify for a 1031 exchange, and they have this huge tax liability. And that tax liability is actually somewhere around $1.1 million. So I'm going to ask Piper, what would it mean at the closing of escrow, after they paid the commission to you as the agent, who does a great job to get that price? They have an extra $1.1 million. They can live off of a cash flowing retirement plan or into real estate. What would that mean for your clients, and knowing that the Deferred Sales Trust can provide that?
Oh my gosh, that would change the entire ballgame, actually, because they were really, that's the one key thing that they're worried about is capital gains. And they're a little elderly, and they want to be able to retire and have some of that money be available to them and not have to pay 30%. So yeah, I mean it really changes the whole scheme.
And we'll break that down for you right now. So it's right around 30%, 33% in California, and that's state and federal, okay? Which is interesting. So you take your 121 exclusion amount, which if you've lived somewhere in 2 of the last 5 years, you can add $250,000 per person. It's a married couple, it'd be $500,000. So in this scenario, they bought it for about $1.175. Add that $500,000, okay? So let's just call that about 1.7 is their adjusted basis. Well, if they sell for about $5 million, that's a huge amount of gain. On that gain, it's about 33%, which is about $1.1 million of tax. So what we're saying is, if you know how to use the Deferred Sales Trust, or if you're considering selling a luxury property of your own, knowing about the Deferred Sales Trust can make a huge difference in your life for retirement and cash flow, You can also pass this on to your kids. We're talking about money that's kind of like an IRA or a 401k. It's tax deferred and you slowly pay tax. And we think it's the best kept secret, and it's not a 1031 exchange. This is what not to do. In this part of the episode, during our journey here, as we're in this amazing 10th Street of Manhattan Beach, we found an owner who just bought a property. And what we found out is that the owner of the property that he bought it from had owned it since 2006. They bought it for about $3.3 million, and they sold it for about $5.5 million, so that a huge tax. Now, fortunately, they were doing a rental, meaning they lived in it for a lot of time, so they were able to potentially do a 1031 exchange. But we want to give you kind of both scenarios of what not to do. And so Piper, the tax on this sale of this property that we're looking at right behind us right now, we won't disclose the address, but it's like right there, okay? So it was next to about $517,000 of capital gains tax liability. So what would it mean to list with you now that you know how to solve that versus listing with one of your competitors, which is what happened?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, they would have saved a ton of money, you know, and knowing that this went over for, knowing that this went for more than $5 million, they would have saved, I don't know how much, at least like 516,000, and they could have saved that and then drawn from that, right? From your, or put that in another property.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the possibilities are kind of endless, and I'm so glad I found you.
Yeah, and so it's that simple,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
it's like if you know and work with somebody who knows how to do this, like Piper here in Manhattan Beach, or any other luxury agents that you might be seeing this somewhere, that you can get them connected with us at Capital Gains Tax Solutions. We're talking about $516,000 that someone potentially just paid. Now they could have done a 1031 exchange, to be fair. Now let's also imagine they did not rent the property out, or they had to move out 2 years prior and they didn't want to move out. Remember, the 1031 goes away, and that's where the Deferred Sales Trust also works for primary homes. So they could eliminate that whole hassle of having to move and having to put it into a rental property, and they could diversify the assets. They can live off the cash flow. They can invest it into cryptocurrency. They can invest it into the stock market. They can invest it into commercial real estate, hard money lending. In other words, they can live off cash flow and keep this money working for them versus just paying the tax. So if you want to learn more about this, again, go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. And if you want to connect with Piper, where do they find you?
Piper at thecryptorealtygroup.com.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.